When you play No Limit Hold'em, your heart probably starts racing when you get dealt pocket aces, and with good reason. It's the best starting hand in the game, but unfortunately, a lot of your anxiety is probably stemming from fear that you're about to lose your entire stack. In this video, through a method called set farming, we'll teach you how to be on the other side of the table. So you're winning a gigantic pot by busting a player who has pocket aces. Now, in poker we know a set refers to three of a kind. In Hold'em, the easiest way to make a set is to start off with a pocket pair, so something like 5-5. And the strategy is called farming because we're planting these fives against what we think is a much better hand, a premium pair, something like ace-ace, in the hopes that we hit a third five on the flop and make our set. And we're expecting our opponent to be very confident in his hand, and most of the time will get his entire stack. And so now you're thinking, well, that's all well and good. We make a boatload of chips when we get lucky and hit our five, but what about all the times that we don't hit the five and we just have to fold? Doesn't that make set farming pretty costly in the long run? Well, it turns out we hit our set 11% of the time. And that's more than enough to make set farming extremely lucrative as a strategy in poker. And don't take my word for it. Let's go through some simple math to demonstrate why this is the case. So let's play this hand out 1,000 times. And to set the stage, everyone at the table has 1,500 in chips. We're at the very beginning of a poker tournament. Blinds are still 10 and 20. And our villain, he's under the gun with aces, and he does something pretty typical. He raises 100 or 5 big blinds. Now, every trial in our experiment, it folds around the table, action is on us, and we always call. We put in the extra 80 to match the $100 raise. Now, out of these 1,000 trials, 118 times, we're going to hit our 5. And the opponent, he's really confident in his aces. He's going to bet, will always raise all in, and he'll always call. And ignoring the small slice of times where he hits a third ace or he outdraws us, we win his entire stack, the 1,500 plus the small blind, for a nice profit of 1,510. Now, what about the 882 times that we don't hit our 5? Well, our decision's easy here. We're suspicious our opponent has aces, so we always fold. And we just lose the original 80 from the pre-flop call. So if you average out this profit tree over the entire experiment, we're making a nice profit of $106 in chips per hand. And so now I might have you convinced that set farming is always a great idea, really profitable, but there's a hidden variable that can be disastrous if you're not paying attention to it. It's lurking in the background, and it's stack size. In this experiment, our stack sizes were 1,500. But let's look at that in terms of the size of the original raise, which in our case is 100. So this stack size, we could say, is 15 times that original raise, 15R, where R is 100. So what if stack sizes, instead of 15R, were just 5R? Or in other words, 500 chips. What will that do to our experiment? Well, let's take a look. Up here at the top half of the tree, where we hit our set, we're not making 1510 anymore. We're just making 500 from our opponent's stack, plus 10 in the small blind. So we call it 510. And when we don't hit our set, well, this is easy. We're still losing the same 80 from the pre-flop call. Now notice, we make a lot less money when we hit our set, but we're losing the same amount of money when we don't. And this has catastrophic results on our profit in the long run. Instead of making 106 chips, we're actually losing to the tune of negative $10 in chips. So now you're reeling, you're thinking, well, okay, we make a ton of money when stack sizes are 15 times the original raise, and we lose a little bit when stack sizes are 5 times the original raise. So what's the answer? Where's the threshold where set farming is profitable? Well, it turns out, for set farming to make you money, your opponent's stack size has to be at least 7.5 times his original raise before he raises. So in this situation, with stack sizes of 1500, his raise can be no greater than 200 in chips.